you ever seen a bunch of preschoolers jumping in rain puddles? So many giggles and so much excitement. And do you know that feeling that you get when you step outside and feel the sunshine on your face for the very first time in a week? Pure happiness. Our preschoolers experience a wide range of emotions every day. They feel sad, happy, excited, nervous, afraid, even sometimes all in the same hour. And while we feel all of those emotions, we have a friend in Jesus, a friend that will never leave us. That's why this month we are talking about the best friend, the one who is always a good friend. Yes, rain or shine, Jesus is always a good friend. But wait, is Jesus a good friend when I feel afraid? Absolutely. And we will see an example of this in week 1. It all began when the disciples saw Jesus walking to their boat on the water. They were all afraid until Jesus told them who he was. Now, Peter, being the bold one of the bunch, took this opportunity to try to walk on water to Jesus. And everything was going fine until Peter saw the storm, and he was seriously afraid. So when Peter began to sink, Jesus was a good friend, and he pulled Peter out of the water, and they climbed back into the boat together. Jesus was a good friend to Peter when he was afraid, because Jesus is always a good friend. Now, week 2, is Jesus a good friend when I feel excited? Of course! Just ask the man Jesus heals in our story. This man was one of 10 men who had a skin disease. And when the men saw Jesus, they cried out and asked Jesus to heal them. Jesus heard the men and told them what to do. Now, while they were on their way, as soon as one of them realized that he was healed, he went right back to Jesus. The man was so excited that he praised God in a loud voice, threw himself at Jesus' feet, and thanked Jesus. Jesus was a good friend to the man when he needed help and when he was excited, because Jesus is always a good friend. Now, week 3, is Jesus a good friend when I feel sad? Oh yes. Jesus is such a good friend when we're sad that he is actually sad with us. We will see this when Jesus visits Mary and Martha. Mary and Martha were friends of Jesus, and they were very sad because of their brother. When Jesus saw Mary and Martha crying and all of their friends and family crying, Jesus felt sad too, and he cried. Jesus was a good friend to Mary and Martha when they were sad, because Jesus is always a good friend. Now, in week 4, is Jesus a good friend when I feel happy? Yes! We will hear the story of a man named Zacchaeus that will help answer that question. You see, Zacchaeus was a tax collector, and that means that he did not have a lot of friends. So one day, Zacchaeus heard that Jesus was coming to the town where he lived. Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus so badly that he climbed a tree to get a better view. Now, when Jesus saw Zacchaeus, Jesus told him that he was going to stay at Zacchaeus' house. Wow! Zacchaeus was so happy that Jesus was his friend, because Jesus is always a good friend. Our preschoolers will grow up and experience a lot of different situations and emotions. And we want children to know that Jesus is a friend that loves them all the time. Rain or shine, Jesus is always a good friend.